Hi there, today I'm going to show you how to make a cute little gift box using the Fancy Favor die. And it has a three-dimensional flower here where the edges are curled. This is using the Polka Dot Parade Designer Series paper. Matching button in the middle with a giant rhinestone in the center. A little sparkly butterfly to give it a little more sparkle on this end. And the leaves are die cut with the Autumn Accents die. To get started, you're going to have Whisper White cardstock, and if you have 12 by 12 paper, you can cut it to 5.5 by 12. I only had 8.5 by 11, so I cut mine to 5.5 by 11. This is going to give me a shorter tab on the end, but it's still long enough to form the box. So I want to emboss the background with the polka dot embossing folder. And what you're going to do is turn this over and line this up. It's actually going to go this way. So this little tab here is going to be folded in, and then the edge of these dots are going to go to the edge of the bottom of the box and also to the edge of that side. It's almost right in the middle of the box there. So you can see through the folder, so just kind of scoot that around until you get that lined up. So now you're going to close this up, and it's going to grip it so it doesn't shift on you. So again, the dots right here are lined up to that score line, and these dots are lined up to the score line for the bottom. So let me grab the Big Shot, and we're going to use a multi-purpose platform, and we're going to be on tab 1. We're going to have a cutting pad on the bottom, and you're going to put your embossing folder on top. Now I want to make sure that the edge, the bottom of my box isn't sticking out, or else it's going to get chewed up when it goes through the Big Shot. So you want to make sure that all your edges are in and nothing is sticking out past the sides here. And then you're going to push your top plate all the way in. And when you bring this out, you're only going to bring it out to the edge of that row of dots. You're not going to bring it out past the folder because we don't want a crease on the line there. So once all the edges are lined up, you can start putting that through. And then it might make a little bit of a pop right there. So when you pull it out, you can see that we've embossed, whoopsie, sorry. We've embossed this side and this side. So now we're going to do this side. Push this back through and set this in. Scoot that out of the way for a second. This top plate, the same thing, you're going to slide this in. Now what you're checking is making sure that these tabs are not sticking out so they don't get chewed up when they go through the Big Shot. Making sure all your sides are lined up. And when you bring this top plate back out, you're just going right to that row of dots. You're not going to go past the folder. You're going to go right to the row of dots, and then you're going to push everything in and run that through. And then pull that out. So now you have your box. It's all nicely embossed. The other thing I forgot to mention is I do fold on these score lines before it goes through the embossing folder, because sometimes it's hard to see those score lines if you don't fold it beforehand. So we're going to add a little sticky strip to this outside tab. So remember, the tab gets a sticky strip on the outside, the side tab. The bottom tabs get the sticky strip on the inside. So when you're putting your sticky strip on, you want to go right next to that score line. And let me trim that. Okay. Now here's the fun part, getting the little red liner tape part off, but it will come off. So when I first started putting these boxes together, I used to try to do it like this and line everything up. It's actually easier if you just leave the box flat on your table, fold this over, so there's your sticky part on top, and then just fold this over. They just automatically line up right. So just kind of double check to make sure you're not crooked and press that down. So once I have the side glued, I also like to do this just to get everything nice and even. And there's your box. So you're going to turn it upside down. The parts that are angled have the sticky strip on the inside. These little straight edges are going to go in first, and then you're going to pull these off. Okay, so get these two little sides in. And then you're going to fold this one in, and then you're going to fold this one in, and that's it. you've got your box. Now you can take a bone folder and just push that in to get those bottoms all nice and stuck. So that's the base of your box. Now to do the flower, this is your fun flower die, and you get 3 different sizes of the flowers and 2 different sizes of the centers. I use the Polka Dot Parade Designer Series paper for my flower pieces. I've already curled these 2 pieces, but I'll show you how to curl the edges with your bone folder. You're going to hold the middle of the paper, and when you're doing this motion, you're pressing against your thumb because you don't want to rip the paper. So again, you're pressing the paper against your thumb and then curling. So it just gives you that nice little curl right there. And just do that for all the edges. Now I have my flower petals curling up. You can have yours curling down if you want to. I just like the look of them curling up. These I've already curled. So we're going to add some dimensionals. The center one, oh, I already got one on there. You only need 1 for that, just right in the center. This larger one, I would probably do 3. Okay, and then I'm just going to put 1 in the back here because I had an extra one. So you can do this first one, the smallest one to the center, and they all have 5 petals, which is great, so you can offset them. See how there's a little space there? So just line these petals up so that they're in the center, like that, and peel these off. The backings of our dimensionals peel off really easy too, so you don't need to fuss too much with that. And then these points here are going to go in the center of, in between these petals. So you just line that up and press that down. So there you go. Isn't that cute? So on the sample, I had a little button with a large rhinestone in the center. So what happens with these buttons, there's actually a little bit of a scoop here in the center. So the rhinestone doesn't really have a lot to stick to. So a way around that, these are I call them jumbo rhinestones, they call them large. To me, they're jumbo. And you can use your glue dots to build up the back so there's enough for it to stick to that button. So you're just going to take one off, find your glue dots here. So just set your rhinestone on top. And I found that if you do this 3 times, it'll give you enough of a thickness that it'll stick to the center of that button. So once I get the 3rd one on, I just like to use my pokey tool to lift it off. And then now you can place that right in the center of your button. So you can add glue dots to the back, and then this is just going to go right in the center. Cute, right? Okay, so the leaves is from a die called Autumn Accents, and you get all these different shapes of leaves. I like this one, so that's the one I'm going to use. I already have 1 curled. Same idea with your bone folder. You're pressing against your thumb. It just gives it a little dimension to not have it flat, okay? So back to your box. You're going to put your flower on here. Oh, the other thing. See right there? That's the edge that you glued to the side. Put that to the back so that way you have a nice clean front. You can use a dimensional or a glue dot. Then these little leaves here, go back to your glue dots and just put 1 on the end. You don't need a lot, and just kind of tuck it under and press it with the glue dot. Have another one here for this one. And then that can go off like that. Cute, right? So the greeting, I'm not going to stamp it for you, but I'll just show you on the sample here. This is from a stamp set called Made For You. Each of these greetings will fit inside our oval punch. It's the 1 3/4 by 7/8 oval punch. And then that will layer onto the scallop oval punch. Now this is the old style punch that we used to have a long time ago, but it still works great, so I still use it. This little butterfly is punched with our silver glimmer paper out of the Petite Butterfly punch. And I'll show you what I did. I actually folded this in half. Again, glue dots right in the middle there. And then I wanted the wings to stay kind of popped up. So I'll fold this over so you can see what I did. I cut a piece of a dimensional just to have a little bit of a foam right there. I didn't pull off the backing because I don't want it to stick down. The glue dot is sticking it down. But it provides a little bit of a a thickness there under the wings so that they don't lay flat. And then, like I said, I just added some candy inside one of our cellophane bags, tied it with our white organza ribbon, got some chocolates in there, so it's a really cute gift. I hope you enjoyed the project and will visit me again. Thanks.